Hi all, Joel D.D. Algren here, bringing you three new Fae races. The FeaFolk, the Malks, and the Warrior Bunnies. This drop will contain lore and traits for each of these races, and hopefully will inspire your next character. The FeaFolk are closely tied to nature and the innate magic of the Feywilds. They are very much inspired by the Dresden Files books, while the Malks are a shadowy feline creature with roots in the fairy tales of old from Brother Grimm's and things like that. While the Warrior Bunnies are a samurai-like proud race inspired by things like anime and just general pop culture. In this video, I'll go over the FeaFolk and what they can do, their traits, their lores, and things like that. So let's dive into that, okay? The FeaFolk are divided into three factions, Summer and Winter Courts, as well as the unaligned Wild Sea. The Summer and Winter Courts are each ruled by three. They are the Mother, the ruler of old, the Queen, the ruler of the present, and the Lady, the ruler of tomorrow. More on this is in the documents that is provided here below as well. They are all reflections of their court's counterparts. They are rulers of all the Feywilds, but only for a time being, each ruling only for half the year during their seasons. Each summer and winter solstice, they have to relent power to the other. This is just in their nature. The Feyfolk are true Fey, so they are bound by the old laws. Things like bargains must always be repaid, or there will be grave consequences. They are also incapable of lying, so they have become masters of the word. They know how to twist and turn a phrase so that they do not have to lie. Because of this, most other races are very mistrusting to them. Now, let's jump into the traits here as well and take a look at that. As a base, all FeaFolk gets +2 to charisma. They are medium-sized and they have a movement speed of 30. Just like their kin, the elves, they have Fey ancestry. They are also very much tied to nature, as we said before. Therefore, I gave them the cantrip Druidcraft to sort of reflect this a bit more. They get something called Fey Cunning. This grants the Feyfolk expertise in deception and persuasion, as long as they are not lying. This can be a great source of role play, for sure. Let's take a look at the sub-races here as well. So as I said, there are three sub-races. We first have the Seelie. The Seelie Fae are the bright and vibrant members of the Fae race. They are often associated with light, music, and celebration. They are naturally tied to the Summer Court, but not necessarily so. They gain +1 in Wisdom as their ability score. They gain an ability called Bardic Talent. This gives the Seelie proficiency in performance as well in all musical instruments. Lightbringer is their second ability they gain. This grants them the cantrip Light, as well as at third level they can cast Fairy Fire, but only once per day. Next we have the Unseelie Fae. The Unseelie are associated with darkness and mystery. They often dwell in the hidden places, using their magic to conceal their presence. The Unseelie are naturally tied to the Winter Court, just as Summer. They are not necessarily part of that court. They gain +1 to Strength as their ability score. Their traits they also get is Shadow Bend. This grants them the ability to become invisible in dim or darkness, only once per long rest. This trait follows the rules of the normal spell invisibility, so if you cast a spell or an attack or anything like that, you become visible immediately. Also, as soon as you actually leave darkness, you lose this trait as well. They also gain dark vision just because sort of feel like that fits them very well. Lastly, we have the Wild Seelie. Now, the Wild Seelie are not tied usually to any court. They are unaligned, mostly. Again, not necessarily so. They can be tied to one of the courts as well. They are in tune with the untamed aspects of nature mostly. They often live in the wilderness, guarding ancient forests and secret groves and things like that. They get a +1 to Constitution as their ability score increase. They get the ability One with Nature. This grants them proficiency with survival. They also get advantage on survival check as long as they are in a natural environment. The other thing they gain is something called the Beast Form. This is basically a minor version of the Druid's Wild Shape. But unlike the Druids, they can only ever transform into beasts of 1/4, and this only lasts for 10 minutes. They can use this once per day. Now, gameplay-wise, the FeaFolk, to me, it's important to role-play them a bit more than maybe most other races, using things like Master of the Word and the rules of bargain to sort of tell their stories more. They cannot lie, so it is important to try and weave this into the character that you make, at least from my point of view. It's a great source of roleplay, I think. But then again, it's also, as always with anything else D&D related, right? It is more guideline. You can always ignore anything you feel and just use it as is. Though I think taking in parts as well as the courts into gameplay can be really, really fun. For example, the summer court might be seen more as the good guys or something like that, right? But they aren't truly, because they are true Fae and do not really have morals as you and I have it in any way. They are also immortal beings completely. They can and will live forever unless something slay them. So other humanoid races might be seen as very fleeting or insignificant to the FeaFolk, and especially to the courts that usually keep to the Feywilds and their own intrigue there. But yeah, I think this could be a really, really great source for RP for anyone that chooses to use this race here. And now that we have talked a little bit about the lore, about the traits, a little bit about RP as well, let's talk a little bit about the balance of this race. I made the FeaFolk some time ago for one of my players, and because of this, it's only really been play tested by them. In the games that we have played with them, they have seemed fairly balanced. Nothing that I can think of that have been sticking out or anything that seemed broken in any way. That being said, there might still be many places that balance needs to be done and things like that. So I would really appreciate it if you can let me know if you use these races or this race in particular. If you find anything imbalanced or anything like that, you are more than welcome to try and break it as much as you possibly can, as long as you can provide me some feedback. So, well, maybe we can fix that. Well, that's it for me today, really. This and the two other races is going to be up now for free on my Patreon for the whole month of February. So feel free to go in there and download this. It's going to be up in a very print-friendly PDF, just black and white, no styling, no nothing like that, as well as a nicer looking PDF with some art and things like that. Other than that, please check out all the social medias in the descriptions below. If you have time, please follow us everywhere there. And of course, as always, like, subscribe, comment on this video. It would mean so much to me as a new creator here. See you around. See you next time, adventurers. Bye-bye.